During the last 48 hours in Texas alone, there has been 4,800 new COVID-19 cases. This number dropped to around 1,000 cases a day due to people following procedures, but has gone back up since Governor Abbott issued Executive Order GA-34, lifting the mask mandate. For these numbers to go back down, I believe that the mandate needs to be reinstated, continue social distancing, and washing our hands frequently. This is an example of what COVID-19 looks like. There are two named types of transmissions, but obviously I can explain how to keep this away from you unless you don't know how it's transmitted. COVID-19, one of the reasons is for being touched an infected surface and then touching your face. This is called foment transmission. An example of this is if you happen to touch a metal pole, then touch your face, you can also get COVID from this. Wearing a mask can also help with this because it stops you from touching your face often. Two, being direct, which is sneezing, coughing, and even talking in your direction. If they are not wearing a mask, abiding by the 6 feet apart rule, this can allow you to catch COVID. Now that you know how COVID can be transmitted, I can show you how to properly wear a mask, social distance, and wash your hands. The mask mandate being back in effect would greatly decrease our chances of catching COVID-19. Two commonly asked questions are, why do I wear a mask if I'm sick, and why do I wear a mask if I'm not sick? Shanzo Lin states that if you leave the house and you are sick, you should wear a face mask to keep your germs in. But if you don't think you are sick because you don't have symptoms, most people that catch COVID-19 don't feel symptoms for 5 to 6 days, on average of 14 days. And 25% of those people don't feel symptoms at all. But it is well contagious before that. Most people that make statements on the mask policy don't actually understand how masks work and how to wear a mask properly. A mask's job is not to stop air from going in and out of the mask, but to prevent how far the air pushed out travels and to catch any unwanted particles. According to research, a scientist at MIT, images and videos showed that videos slowed down to 2,000 frames per second, shows that mucus and saliva can burst from a person's mouth at nearly 100 miles per hour and travel as far as 27 feet. This is much farther than previously believed. Think of a school bus. Some of them are around 25 to 30 feet long, meaning your mucus and saliva can travel the same length as some school buses. Another study done by MIT researchers determined that coughs and sneezes through associated gas clouds, and this allows droplets to travel much farther. Because this gas cloud, respiratory droplets can travel 200 times farther than if they moved as unconnected particles and remain suspended in the air for extended periods of time. This allows droplets to travel far enough and stay in the air enough to reach ventilation units. Research done by the University of Bristol also found a sneeze can send 100,000 contagious germs into the air, and a small size of these particles allow these respiratory droplets to remain suspended in the air for seconds to weeks. So wearing a mask is not only to protect yourself, but also the people around you. When looking for a mask, look for a cloth one. A typical example of a good mask is these medical masks. They're blue or white. You can buy them at almost any store now. But they should be made up of tightly woven, breathable fabric. A good way to check to see if a mask is okay to use is to hold it up to a light source. A good mask won't allow light to shine through, and a bad one, well, the light will just pass through it. To wear a mask properly, grab the two straps. Grab the two straps like this, and just put them over your ears, and make sure it's covering your nose, your chin, and your mouth. If it doesn't happen to fit your face, you can always just twist these and put it over your ears like this, and it becomes fitted like that, if you happen to have a smaller face. Now, social distancing has an important role in stopping the spread of COVID-19. It stops people from getting within range of potentially infected particles of COVID that were emitted by someone sneezing, coughing, or simply talking in your direction. Although this is the least followed rule in Texas, the few that have been doing this have helped keep the population safe to social distance, stay 6 feet or 2 arm lengths away from another person, and wear your mask correctly. The last reason is washing your hands. This rule is quite simple, although it has come to my attention that some people don't actually know how to wash your hands correctly. To do so, you will need soap, water, and with these 4 steps, you will be able to efficiently wash your hands. To wash your hands, step 1, wet your hands with clean running water. This water should be cold or warm. Hot water helps carry bacteria. But then gently apply soap. 2, lather your hands by rubbing them together with soap. 3, scrub your hands for at least 20 seconds. And 4, rinse your hands with clean, cold, or warm running water. All of these steps and reasons may be a little confusing at first, but think of it as a protective triangle when with you being in the center and wearing a mask, washing your hands, and social distancing are around you. If you see there are still gaps in the corners, but that's because this method is not, all of wearing these are not going to be 100% efficient. You can still catch it from this. That's why I think it's important to get the mask mandate reinstated, because yes, the vaccine is helping some, but if this continues, people will soon stop to social distance, meaning we will have lost 2 of our protective fields, and even our government couldn't keep up with how fast it would spread. But if we get the mask mandate back and continue with it, then there's a strong chance COVID will slow down, and with the vaccine's help, trickle down and will hopefully stop the spread.